morning children. In previous class we learned about heterotrophic nutrition. In that we learned about human digestive system. No? Human digestive system starts from mouth and ends with the anus. And also we learned about the function of enzymes. Enzymes are the chemical substances which help to convert complex food molecule into simple ones. And also we learned about digestion starts from buccal cavity and ends with the small intestine. In large intestine we can find out only reabsorption takes place, no digestion takes place. Now today let us discuss about digestion in buccal cavity. Already you learnt in previous class. Again I am repeating here. Digestion in buccal cavity. See here. In buccal cavity we can find out three pairs of salivary glands. Correct or not? What are the three pairs of salivary glands? Or keep it in mind, very important in the exam point of view. One pair is parotid glands, one pair of sublingual glands, one pair of submandibulary glands. Three pairs of salivary glands: parotid, sublingual, submandibulary. These three pairs of salivary glands releases a juice known as saliva. This saliva contains enzyme, already we learned. Amylase acts on carbohydrates and converts it to maltose. See a salivary duct. These ducts carry saliva from salivary glands into buccal cavity. This is palate. It is a bony plate which separates nasal cavity to oral cavity. Keep it in mind. Palate is a bony plate which helpful to separate nasal cavity to oral cavity. Here a structure called epiglottis. This epiglottis very useful, which helps to send food into esophagus, air into larynx. The function of epiglottis we will learn in next lesson, that is respiration. The function of epiglottis we will learn in second lesson, respiration lesson. See here, peristaltic movement in esophagus. Already we learned about buccal cavity. The soft chewed food in the buccal cavity is known as bolus. After swallowing, see here, this is called bolus, enter into the esophagus. For easy movement of bolus, esophagus secretes a sticky substance called mucus. This mucus helpful for easy movement of bolus in esophagus. Here in esophagus, we can find out two types of muscles. I learnt in 9th class, muscles helpful for movement. Two types of muscles, keep it in mind. One is circular muscles, another one is longitudinal muscles. One is circular, another one is longitudinal muscles. Helps to send bolus in esophagus, and the bolus in esophagus shows a wave-like motion. See here, like this wave-like motion is known as peristaltic movement. What is peristaltic movement? With the help of two muscles which present in the esophagus, one is circular, another one is longitudinal muscles, helps to show a wave-like motion. See here, like wave-like motion is known as peristaltic movement. This peristaltic movement helps to send bolus. The yellow color substance is there, no, this is called bolus. This peristaltic helps to send bolus from esophagus to stomach. Now, next topic, enzymes. Already we learnt in previous class. Enzymes are the chemical substances which are released from glands known as exocrine glands. These enzymes act on chemical substances. These chemicals act on complex food molecule and convert them into simple ones. See here, very important in the exam point of view, enzymes chart. See here, first serial number. If you will observe in this table, we can find out serial number, enzyme secreted by which glands release that enzyme, where this enzyme released, name the juice which contain that enzyme, acts on which complex molecule and converts into simple substance. See, first one, ptyalin. Already we learnt in previous class. Ptyalin released from salivary glands. Salivary gland releases a juice called saliva, contain enzyme called ptyalin. This also called as salivary amylase released from salivary glands. Three pairs of salivary glands we learned, no? Parotid, sublingual, submandibular. Secreted from salivary glands, released into buccal cavity or oral cavity. The juice which contains this enzyme known as saliva acts on carbohydrate. This is complex one, converts into maltose, simple ones. Next, pepsin. It is an enzyme which released from gastric glands. Gastric gland present in stomach in the form of juice known as gastric juice. Acts on proteins. It is complex one and converts into peptones, simple ones. Bile. Already I explained. Bile, it is yellow in color, contain pigments called bilirubin, biliverdin. But bile does not contain no enzyme. Very, very important exam point. The juice which does not contain any enzyme is bile. Released from liver, largest gland in the body, into duodenum. What is the shape of duodenum? U shape. It is the first part of small intestine. Duodenum, bile juice, acts on fats, complex molecules, which helpful for emulsification of fats. Already I explained. What is emulsification? Emulsification means fats are break down into small globules, small particles known as emulsification. Which juice helpful for emulsification? Bile, released from liver, does not contain any enzymes. Amylase. It is an enzyme, another enzyme. Here also we can observe amylase. It is salivary amylase which released from salivary glands. It is the amylase which released from pancreas. It is another enzyme released from pancreas into duodenum, U-shaped duodenum. A juice called pancreatic juice contains enzyme called amylase, acts on carbohydrates, complex one, into maltose. It is the simple carbohydrate. Next, trypsin, another enzyme which contains pancreatic juice, second enzyme trypsin. It is trypsin released from pancreas into duodenum, converts proteins into peptones. It is the complex one into peptones. Next enzyme released from pancreas, third enzyme lipase, released from pancreas into duodenum, pancreatic juice, acts on fats, complex one into simple one, fatty acids and glycerol. These three enzymes released from pancreas only. Next, food enter into the small intestine. Peptidases, it is an enzyme released from a juice known as intestinal juice from intestinal gland present in small intestine, acts on peptides, complex one into amino acids. Keep it in mind, amino acids are the smaller units of proteins. Next, last enzyme in small intestine, sucrase. Already I explained. Sucrase, it is a enzyme released from intestinal gland present in small intestine in the form of intestinal juice, acts on sucrose. It is a cane sugar. It is the sugar present in sugar cane. So many sugars present in different food items. For example, lactose is a sugar present in milk. Maltose is a sugar present in grains, food grains, like that. Sucrose is a sugar present in cane sugar into glucose. So these all are the enzymes which released from glands known as duct glands, exocrine glands. See here, if you will observe before, here we can find out glands have duct, salivary duct. Duct means tube. This tube helps to carry enzymes from one place to another place. The enzymes which belongs to human digestive system are exocrine glands. Why? Because they have ducts, exocrine glands. Another glands also will be, they are called endocrine gland. We will discuss on 5th lesson. Endocrine gland. Other glands in our body, they are called endocrine glands. We will discuss in 5th lesson. They are ductless glands. We will discuss later. So all these glands, see here, we can find out some glands now here. All these glands, salivary glands, gastric glands, liver, pancreas, intestine glands. All these glands are called exocrine glands, means they have ducts, means tubes. They helps to carry enzymes from one place to another place. Next topic, flow chart of human digestive system. Already I explained, human digestive system starts from mouth and ends with anus. This is the flow chart which explains us about journey of food from mouth to anus. Here, food enter into the mouth, that is called ingestion. Ingestion means intake of food into mouth. Next open into a cavity known as buccal cavity or oral cavity. Three structures present in the buccal cavity we learned, that is salivary glands, tongue and teeth. Next, pharynx. It is the common passage for both food and air. We will discuss more about pharynx in a second lesson, respiration. Pharynx. It is the common passage for both air and food. Pharynx opens into esophagus. It is a tube-like structure which made up of two muscles, circular and longitudinal muscles. Helps to carry bolus from buccal cavity to stomach. See here, stomach is a sac-like structure which releases a juice called gastric juice, we learned. See here, stomach open into duodenum. It is a U-shaped structure. Here in duodenum we can find out two ways. One from liver and two connections. One from liver and another from pancreas. Liver releases bile juice, pancreas releases pancreatic juice into duodenum. Duodenum opens into small intestine. Keep it in mind, the first part of small intestine is duodenum. The first part of small intestine is duodenum. And middle part of small intestine is jejunum and last part is ileum. First part of small intestine is duodenum, middle part is jejunum and last part ileum. Small intestine, a juice released from small intestine known as intestinal juice. Already we learned about the digestion in small intestine. Next, small intestine opens into large intestine. In large intestine there is no digestion, only reabsorption. After completion of reabsorption, large intestine opens into rectum. Rectum opens into anus. Anus send fecal matter to outside of the body, that is known as defecation, you learned. So, sending of waste material from the body is known as defecation. Sending of waste material from the body through anus is known as defecation. So, this is the flow chart of human digestive system. Next topic in first lesson, diseases due to malnutrition. Before that, you have to learn about balanced diet. What is meant by balanced diet? The diet, the food which contain all types of nutrients in appropriate quantities is known as balanced diet. Already you learned about nutrients in 7th class. Nutrients are the chemical substances which are helpful for growth. Proteins, carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, minerals, water, all these are called nutrients. If you will take all nutrients in appropriate quantities is known as balanced diet. A institute called National Institute of Nutrition located at Hyderabad will give information about balanced diet. This balanced diet is differ from age to age and sex to sex and person to person and affected person to healthy person. This balanced diet is differ from one to other. So, next let us discuss about malnutrition. What is meant by malnutrition? Lack of one or more nutrients in food for long time is known as malnutrition. Here, malnutrition. Diseases due to malnutrition. Before that, what are the reasons for malnutrition? What are the reasons for malnutrition? 1. Lack of awareness. Some people does not have correct opinion about balanced diet. So that is called lack of awareness. Second one, poverty. Some people does not have ability to take healthy food due to lack of money. That is called poverty. And third reason for malnutrition is socio-economic problem. For example, if a house contains two children, one is boy and the other one is girl, mother wants to supply or prefer to give more food to boy, correct or not? This leads to malnutrition in girls. And the fourth one is repeated attack of infections like vomitings, motions leads to cause malnutrition. What are the 4 reasons of malnutrition? One is lack of awareness. Second one is poverty. Third one is socio-economic problem. And fourth one is repeated attack of infections. Here in this picture we can observe diseases. The person who suffers with diseases due to malnutrition. First one is kwashiorkor. First disease in malnutrition is kwashiorkor. See here, he is the person who suffered with a disease known as kwashiorkor. Do you know? Kwashiorkor is not a English word, it is an African word. In English, meaning is displaced child. What remember displaced child? The mother who stops giving milk to their children, which is giving alternate food than milk, may suffer with disease. The mother who stops giving milk to their children may suffer with this disease, kwashiorkor. It is protein malnutrition. Malnutritions are 3 types: protein malnutrition, calorie malnutrition, protein calorie malnutrition. If the food does not contain protein, may suffer with protein malnutrition. If the food does not contain calories, means energy giving food substances, may suffer with calorie malnutrition. If the food does not contain both proteins and calories, suffers with protein calorie malnutrition. See here, kwashiorkor, it is a disease due to protein malnutrition. Milk contain proteins? No. So the child who does not take milk may suffer with the kwashiorkor. We can identify any disease with the help of symptoms? No. What are the symptoms of disease? See here, fluffy and round moon-shaped face. Fluffy means soft, moon-shaped face. Abdomen will be swollen look. Abdomen, see here, we can find out some swelling here. This is swelling abdomen. Less muscle development. Less muscle development. Difficult to eating. Difficult to eating. Diarrhea. Diarrhea means vomiting and motions. So these are the symptoms of kwashiorkor. One is fluffy and moon-shaped face. Second one is body parts swollen. Swollen body parts due to accumulation of water in intercellular spaces. Intercellular means in between of cells. We can find out more water. Less muscle development. Third one, less muscle development. Dry skin. Dry skin and diarrhea are the symptoms of kwashiorkor. Second one, marasmus. See here, the person who suffers with marasmus looks like small compared to their age. See here, body parts will be lean and weak. Body parts will be lean and weak, and less muscle development. Less muscle development. Difficult to eating. Diarrhea. Diarrhea. Dry skin. So these are the symptoms of marasmus. One example of person who suffers with marasmus is already observed in some advertisements like Cushy advertisement. She also suffers with a disease known as marasmus. Already you observed one advertisement in your house, that Cushy advertisement. She also suffering with a disease known as marasmus. The body part will be lean and weak. Less muscle development, dry skin, diarrhea are the symptoms of marasmus disease. So these 2 diseases, one is kwashiorkor and the one is marasmus. Both are these 2 diseases due to lack of nutrients. Here we can find out another abnormality, that is obesity. Do you know? You have to take food sufficiently. If you will take more food than required amount, also problem that is leads to a cause disease known as obesity. What is meant by obesity? The person who have weight 10% more than the body weight, 10% more than the body weight, suffers with a problem known as obesity. What is the reason for obesity? The first reason is over intake, less energy expenditure. More intake, less energy expenditure leads to cause a problem known as obesity. What are the problems of person who suffers with obesity? First one is diabetes. Obesity may cause diabetes, sugar. Second one is cardiovascular problem, means heart problems. And third one is a renal problem, kidney problem. So these are the problems which are faced by people who suffers with the obesity. What is the treatment of obesity? How to control obesity means you have to take balanced diet, regular exercise. We know that a tissue which stores fat in our body, learned in 9th class, that is called adipose tissue. When the adipose tissue stores more fat, the body size automatically increases. So if you want to control obesity, you have to take balanced diet and regular exercise are the solution. Two are the solution to control obesity. When obesity will be controlled, when obesity, the size of adipocytes will be reduces. So these are the solution for obesity.